The reason why it hasn't been?
It's a trauma and bonding assessment. So originally I was informed that mom would be out of jail sooner than we thought. So I was going to wait for her to be released before I scheduled that. But I will work on getting it scheduled as soon as possible.
Welcome to the Judgment Room.
Okay, we're on record for an initial disposition and a putative father hearing. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Carson Howard, lawyer, guardian ad litem.
Ms. Sasha Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Doty.
Paige Doty, the worker assigned to the case.
Michael McFarland, representing mother. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Laura Waldron, Autumn's mother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. All right. Any initial comments from our attorneys before we get started?
None here.
Your Honor, for purposes of the putative father hearing, I can adjust that before we go into Ms. Waldron's portion if you would like.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Pelham has submitted a proof of service indicating that she was able to notify the named putative father in this matter of today's hearing. It does not seem that he is inclined to participate, and I believe he does not believe he is the father. I can have Ms. Pelham sworn in if the court would like, but given that he is not present for today's hearing, I at the end would ask the court to determine that the child does not have an identifiable father and that he waives notice to future hearings.
All right. Mr. McFarland, comments on that?
No position. I'll question my client when I call her.
Mr. Howe?
I have no objections to that, Your Honor.
Well, we'll address that as we go along then and essentially consolidate today's hearings. And we'll have your caseworker address both issues during her testimony, if that's okay, Ms. Thomas?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Howitt.
Yes, Your Honor. And we are on YouTube, right?
We are.
Okay. I was able to meet with the child on May 7th in her new foster home, and this is her second foster home, and I believe we knew that the first one would be only temporary, and it was a weekend removal. So, but she had been transitioning there for a few days and was really just getting comfortable. This placement has a couple of other children in the home, a couple older in that young teenager range, and then a baby. So there's a few other kids there. From talking to the placement and the foster care worker, it just sounds like Autumn, the child does not like men or boys really of all ages. So that's kind of something that's interesting and should be explored via trauma assessment and bonding when mother is available, excuse me. There were some concerns of needing a speech therapy, but it's possible that daycare will be able to handle this just from my conversations with the caseworker. So I'm hopeful that can all be taken care of there. At this point, there's not any parenting time. His mom has been incarcerated since removal. I would support, phone calls with mom and the child. From my research, I believe that this would be the least disruptive to the child, and just keeping them scheduled and at a weekly frequency would be appropriate. She's really young, so we don't really know what we'll get from the phone calls. I think we can just keep tinkering it to better fit her, and then hopefully get some insight from a trauma assessment. And I think we should, move forward with that portion at least now, with the child being so young and having these early indications of trauma with the apprehensive behavior around just the male gender. So, but at this point, I think it's in her best interest to remain in this placement. She's getting settled in there, and really enjoys playing with the female foster sister that she has, and just give her mom a chance to work through the barriers in the case service plan and the legal system. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Thomas, witness testimony today.
Thank you, Your Honor. If Ms. Doty can please be sworn in.
Come on up to our witness stand.
Right, you solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes. Okay, if you could start by stating and spelling your name for us.
Paige Doty, P-A-I-G-E-D-O-T-Y.
Thank you. Talk right up to that microphone and we'll get started. Ms. Thomas, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Sodi, you are the foster care case manager for this matter, correct?
Yes, I am.
And then you've also provided us with a court report with a few attachments earlier this month. Are there any documents that you've circulated since you filed this packet?
No, there are not.
Okay, and are there any updates or modifications to the report that you'd like to make?
No.
Okay. The current permanency goal for the child and mother at this time is reunification, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And it looks like there is a case service plan included in your report. Were you able to review that with Ms. Waldron before submitting it?
Yes, I was. Ms. Waldron seemed very willing to work through all areas of her case service plan. She let me know she didn't have any questions right now, but she seemed very willing to comply.
Okay, thank you. And I noticed that you included a drug screen, but then also some court documents from my court. Do you have any updates on her current status for her pending legal matters?
Yes. Her last hearing, her sentencing hearing was adjourned. The latest update that I have is that she's due to be seen again June 12th for her sentencing. And those are for the 3 charges that are listed in the court report.
And that, so would that be for Lenawee or Washtenaw?
I believe it's in Lenawee. This was following a my court search this morning that I have this information.
Okay. I see Ms. Waldron is indicating no. We'll hopefully get more clarification from when she's able to testify. But okay, thank you for providing the my court documents. And then as it relates to any voluntary services that have taken place since our last hearing, are you aware of anything that mom's been able to do during her incarceration?
I am not currently aware of anything. I was only able to meet with Ms. Waldron last week, so there may have been some updates in this time, but I am not currently aware.
Okay. And are you familiar with the incarcerated parent protocol at all?
Yes.
Okay. And can you just briefly know that it's also an element of the court report, but can you just briefly highlight how you've complied with that protocol?
Yes, I was able to meet with Ms. Waldron twice in this last reporting period. Just making sure she's up to date on Autumn's, the child's medical information, making sure that she's up to date on where the child is placed, and that she is up to date on her case service plan as well.
And then as relates to the putative father, I'm not sure if you have a ton of information, but Ms. Waldron did provide us with a name at the preliminary hearing. Were you able to contact that individual at all?
I did attempt. I was given his number from Chelsea. I did attempt to reach him with the most recent order, and I did not receive anything back from the father.
Okay. And is it your understanding as well that Ms. Pelham may have had some form of contact or have more information?
Yes, I believe she was attempting to engage him. I believe maybe she had him on the phone for at least one time. That is as much information as I have now.
And were you able to ask Ms. Waldron if she had any other names of potential fathers for the child?
There's no other, sir.
We'll come to you in a bit, Ms. Waldron. If you could please wait, or Mr. McFarland is going to talk with you about that.
I do not believe there are any other names mentioned, but I believe Ms. Waldron could testify to that today as well.
Okay, no problem. Right. And then as relates to the ICWA documentation, have you received any letters back?
I have not. I'm not aware if Chelsea has received anything, as she was the one who has submitted them. But I have not received any further documentation.
Okay. All right, thank you. I have no further questions of Ms. Sodi, Your Honor. I would ask the court to accept the court report at this time.
No objections.
No objections.
Thank you. There received questions, Mr. McFarland?
Since you didn't submit the ICWA, the Native American Heritage letters, you wouldn't know whether they were addressed to the registered agent of the tribe, would you?
I did receive the documents that Chelsea sent, and I was able to look over them, and I believe they were sent to the corresponding tribes.
And my question was to the corresponding agents as required.
Yes, I believe they were.
Thank you. Are Under the incarcerated person protocol, you check and see if my client would be able to Zoom with her child to her incarceration?
I am working on setting up Zoom and phone calls for her with the child. Yes.
And where do we stand on setting those up?
Currently, as the LGAL testified, with the trauma assessment, I would maybe want to get that done first, just to make sure that we can support that contact. But I would recommend a weekly phone call or Zoom currently while she remains incarcerated.
When is the trauma assessment scheduled?
It is not scheduled yet.
The reason why it hasn't been?
It's a trauma and bonding assessment. So originally I was informed that mom would be out of jail sooner than we thought. So I was going to wait for her to be released before I scheduled that. But I will work on getting it scheduled as soon as possible.
Sounds so you can at least do the trauma portion of it while she's incarcerated. Am I correct with that?
Yes.
If she makes bond or if the sentence releases her from incarceration, what would her parenting time be?
It would follow policy. So most likely 2 times a week for 4 to 6 hours.
What is available to her while she's incarcerated under her case service plan that she can work at?
Currently, I'd have to look more into what classes are offered, if any courses are offered for parenting education at Lenawee County Jail. But I have been waiting. It sounds as though she is going to be released from what I have heard from her. So most services would be only available to her when she is released from incarceration.
Only event she isn't, because sometimes things take a turn. We don't know. You'll be exploring that in the jail
Yes, I will.
also. When she's released, where should her focus of her efforts be under her case service plan?
We did have a recent positive screen come through for methamphetamine and amphetamine. I believe her focus should be on the substance use. She has also informed me that she does not have housing if she is released. So I have been working with her to talk about utilizing Catherine Cobb and Housing Help of Lenawee to make sure that we have a safe place for her to be if she is released.
Thank you. No further questions, John?
Mr. Howitt?
Yes. You met with the child at daycare, correct?
Yes.
And did you have any observations about her potential needs or any issues she was having there?
She seemed to be doing pretty well the day that I visited. Her daycare teacher did let me know that she is a bit skittish around boys as well. So I think just putting extra focus on that when we get to the trauma assessment to make sure there's no other barriers that we're unaware of currently that need to be addressed.
And the daycare may be able to offer her some speech therapy.
Yes, they let me know they do a lot of developmental work with the children. So I did mention to her that the child's speech is a part of some barriers that we were seeing. So just working on that more with the daycare teacher, I think we can implement some healthy strategies.
And placement is reporting the same behavior around men or boys as well.
Yes, she has let me know that she is a little bit shy around men and boys. She's just a little bit quicker to be more comfortable around girls at this point.
Nothing further, thank you.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your testimony. You may return to your seats. Any other witnesses?
Your Honor, I'd ask Ms. Pelham to be sworn in just for the putative father component and ICWA.
Deputy Planner.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Ms. Pelham, you've heard the testimony today. Can you just provide us updates on the putative father component, and then after that, in the narrative of whether you know if the department has received anything back from the BIA or the Navajo Nation for ICWA?
Absolutely. I requested a courtesy from Washtenaw County on April 28th for them to attempt to find the named putative father, Lamar Hampton. They did locate an individual who said that they were not Lamar Hampton, but we kind of have a suspicion that it was. We did get a phone number for Lamar, and I texted him all of the orders to date, and he responded on May 16th and stated that he would like a blood test to be done because he does not believe that he is the father of this child and he really doesn't want anything to do with it. I texted him again on May 17th with the adjournment order and told him when the new court hearing was. I advised him that if he did show up, the process would be for him to get a DNA test and he doesn't really have to do much until that comes back. He responded okay and never said anything else. I did text him again today to remind him about the court hearing. It shows as delivered and it has not been read yet, and previous messages have been read. So I don't know moving forward what he is interested in. I've told him everything that we would expect of him, and there's really been no response one way or the other. As for ICWA, everything has been sent to Navajo Nation. It is another worker in our office who does that. To my knowledge, nothing has been received back yet, but I do know it was sent and addressed specifically to Navajo Nation with a James Curley listed on the 5598 as the specific ICWA person within their office.
Thank you very much. With that, Erin, no further questions on Ms. Pelham.
Any questions, Mr. McFarland?
Oh, thank you.
Mr. Howard?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your testimony. Anyone else you'd like to hear from today, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I'll leave it to Mr. McFarland to call his client. Thank you.
Mr.
I'd like to call my client, have her sworn in.
Deputy Ames, you can swear in Ms. Laura Waldron. Jeez, Deputy Fleener. Haven't done that in a while.
Oh, do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
You can put down your hand. We are on YouTube, so we're not going to use your child's name, okay?
Okay.
I don't want you to tell us about the circumstances why you're incarcerated, because you have a Fifth Amendment right. But can you tell us where you're incarcerated and what your status is?
I'm in Lenawee County Jail, and I should be released on the 12th.
Is there anything pending in Washtenaw County?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, what is the method you're going to be released? Are you going to be sentenced? Are you going to make bond? What's
I'm
happening?
going to be sentenced on the 12th with light probation. 2 of the charges were dropped.
Okay.
3 of the
Well,
charges. Three charges were dropped.
And
The only one
what's
that I've been charged with that I pled to was the child abuse charge.
Okay.
They said there was
What
nothing they
is-
could do about it because CPS was involved. So it was in my best interest.
So what is the offense in Washtenaw County that's outstanding?
That's a possession charge of cocaine from a long time ago. It wasn't even my drugs, but the same thing. I think that there might be a deal worked out with that as well.
Okay, is there a warrant out for your arrest on that charge?
Yes.
So, hang on, just listen. Is the Lenawee County Jail going to transport you to Washtenaw, or do you know?
Washtenaw most likely will transport me when I'm released.
So you're going from Lenawee County Jail up to Washtenaw County Jail. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay. And you would like to, if you don't make bail up there, you would like the worker to explore parenting time on Zoom or whatever is available. Is that what I'm hearing?
I would like that as soon as possible. I have not heard from Autumn. I've not even been updated. I didn't know that she's even been to 2 families. She had no problem with boys before this all occurred whatsoever. So I'm really worried. She needs to know that I'm okay. It's been a long time.
Okay. And you hear that they want to do a trauma assessment. They want to do that as soon as possible to make sure that it's okay for her to communicate with you remotely. Do you understand that?
No.
What there's a trauma assessment is basically they want to make sure that there's no mental health issues or trauma issues with the child that need to be addressed before visits. That's what they're describing. Do you understand that now?
I guess.
What don't you understand? Let me ask you that.
That I'm her mom and that she doesn't know what happened to me or where I went. That's causing trauma.
Okay. The putative father, is there a possibility that other than the individual named
You took a picture of her and a picture of him and put them side by side, they look just
hang on.
alike.
You gotta listen to me and let me complete my question before you start, okay? And I know you're nervous. Is there any
I'm
other
not nervous, I'm
male,
upset.
is there any other individual other than the person named who might be the father?
No,
What did you want to say about that?
just that he's her father. He's never really been a part of her life, but that's her father. I
Okay,
mean, that's the other half of her.
do you know if he
There's
has
been-
any?
There's been a guy named Jeremy Early in her life, but he's not her father. He's white.
Got you. Do you know if her father has any Indian blood in his family line?
I have no idea.
Fair enough. Okay. Did you understand the case service plan that you helped create? Did you read it?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. You understand that's your expectations. That's a roadmap of what needs to be done to close the case and reunify you with your child.
Yeah, I believe that when I get to Washtenaw, that's the option is the rehab. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, what your thoughts were on that. Okay.
yeah,
And-
I'm fine with that.
Do you need help with your workers getting you into a rehab program?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. They're listening right now, so they know that that's the case. So.
I
any
also,
other-
if I could
any
even just
other-
get a picture of Autumn, like that would like help me a lot. Like a lot. I've
Okay, I was
asked
gonna
for
ask you.
pictures.
Okay, I was gonna ask you if they have any other questions or concerns, so thank you for adding that. Okay.
Yeah, I asked like a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't received one.
Who did you ask?
Brittany Stover and the foster care solution lady.
Okay, I will ask the worker again here in court about that, okay? Anything
Okay.
else? Any other questions you have?
No, I just miss her a lot.
Okay, I'll see if anybody else has questions for you, okay? Hang on.
Okay.
Ms. Thomas?
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay,
I'd like to call the worker for one question.
she remains under oath. Go ahead.
You've heard my client say that she'd like at least a photo of the child. Can that be done?
Yes, it has to be put on a postcard for her to be able to receive it in the jail. And I asked for pictures of the child before the long weekend, and I did receive them, so I'll work on getting that postcard.
Okay, does that have to be mailed or can that be delivered to her?
I believe it has to be mailed, but I need to email with the sergeants to verify the process to get it to
So
them.
you're on top of that?
Yeah.
Thank you. And you've also heard that just now my client is desirous of getting into rehab. Is that something that you can discuss with her and maybe check in advance? So when she is released from Washtenaw, she can immediately perhaps inquire to a specific location?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any other witnesses?
So thank you.
Mr. Howard?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Comments in closing, beginning with Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. At this juncture, we're just asking that mom be entered into her case service plan. I think that based on the testimony from Ms. Pelham, that Lamar Hampton is not interested in establishing paternity. So we just ask the court to note that the father was given a proper notice. He was reminded twice and sent the orders for the adjournment, and he failed to show. I believe that at this time it would also mean that he waives his right to further notice in this hearing. And we would ask that the father be found unidentifiable. And then as it relates to Ms. Waldron, I know that the caseworker will continue to monitor any movements with the criminal charges and do her best to facilitate some sort of parenting time. I know that internally amongst our team, we've discussed this, and I think it's a matter of the logistics and trying to figure out what would work best. And then also if there's going to be a change in facilities, having to be able to coordinate that as well. And then obviously we're in contact with the LJL with what he believes is in the child's best interest. And I think that it is important to ensure whatever pathway that we move forward, it is consistent for the child's well-being. And so we will continue to work on that. Otherwise, we would just ask for a standard 90-day review. Thank you.
Comments, Mr. McFarland?
Well, I think we're heading in a very positive direction in that my client wants to enter rehab. She recognizes the issues that brought her where she is here. It's understandable that any mother would like to have contact with the child in a minimal way through a photo and after a trauma assessment. I hope the worker might be able to explain to her a little bit more what a trauma assessment is, the purpose, and how that is accomplished offline here. So she understands the case service plan, and I think she has a very positive plan of action to commence with rehab. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor, I think the case service plan addresses most of the issues that brought in the case. The only thing I may add would be just domestic violence, work and education, and I think we talked about that through potentially Catherine Cobb, if that's the transition out of rehab or out of jail. And then the only thing I would add for the child is that she did not express her wishes due to her age and just getting to know her a little bit. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland, any objection to adding exploration of domestic violence dynamics and treatment for same in the event that that's appropriate for you?
I might question my client, Your Honor. Is it okay if they add domestic violence component to your case service plan? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Is that sure? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I guess I'm confused.
Well, domestic violence means that you may have been a victim of domestic violence, or the child may have witnessed domestic violence, and they want you to at least explore the components of domestic violence in your case service plan. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah. Does that affect me having to talk to her? I'm confused. So I want to see her.
That's not what they're saying,
Okay. Okay.
Your Honor. My client appears to be agreeable with that.
All right, so I'm phrasing it such that it's investigation into domestic violence dynamics, treatment for same, if appropriate.
No objection to that language.
I think it's appropriate.
So we're just asking you to look at that, Ms. Waldron. Ms. Waldron, do you know if your bond conditions, or I'm sorry, your probation conditions are going to prohibit you from parenting time given the plea to child abuse?
No. It's
Okay.
light probation.
Wait, is that a no? She doesn't know? Or it's not?
I would imagine she doesn't know yet, but what did you say, Ms. Waldron?
They said it's going to be light probation.
Thank you. All right, so we'll just count on our caseworker to continue to investigate that. Likely also, your obligations as a caseworker, for my court at least, would be just simply to cooperate with any pre-sentence investigation or probation office. I don't think you're going to be able to make referrals for her probation terms or anything that has to do with Washtenaw County or Lenawee County criminal cases. The only case you're responsible for is this one. So if you want to try to help, or if they want you to help, then so be it. But otherwise, I just need you to keep track of what's going on and let us know. Okay? Thank you, Ms. Doty. Okay. Any other comments or questions before I go into the findings?
No, thank you.
Mr. Howell?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Court finds all interested parties are given notice for purposes of today's initial disposition. The case services plan does appear to target and give a roadmap for Ms. Waldron to work on in order to achieve reunification for her child. That would include things like housing and income and appropriate, safe and stable environment free of substances and the effects that substances have had on Ms. Waldron's ability to parent safely and provide a safe and stable environment for her child. As an extension of that, the case services plan outlines things like psychological evaluation, substance abuse treatment, assessment and treatment, testing, parenting education, assessment and treatment. Again, the domestic violence assessment and treatment, and all the things that we would hope she's able to do in order to provide a safe and stable environment for her child. She obviously comes to us from Lenawee County Jail today and is not able to provide a housing or a safe and stable environment for her child at this point. So Her daughter is in the safest and least restrictive circumstances. She's actually, it seems like, enjoying at least as part of her time there, as she's got a foster sister she's getting to know. And I do trust our caseworker is doing everything she can to follow the incarcerated parent protocol, including going above and beyond to supply some of those updates and even a postcard photograph from Ms. Waldron of her child. So thank you to our caseworker for those efforts. And we're going to set a review for 3 months out to continue to look at the case. So that takes us to the end of July. Or no, the end of August, actually. We have the afternoon of Tuesday, August 18th. 1 o'clock, is that, are you available, Mr. McFarland? We're gonna do 1 o'clock on August 18th for our first review and permanency planning hearing.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more courtroom cases.